Light-dependent reaction, AQA Biology. Key terms: photophosphorylation, and this means when light is combined with ADP plus PI to form ATP. Factors of photosynthesis: oxidation and reduction reactions, which are used in the mitochondria to carry during aerobic respiration. How ADP and PI are made in the light-dependent stage will be explained further into the video, but chloroplast adaptations are that they have many grana, which are good for increasing surface area, which will allow more light to be absorbed. Many thylakoids, which provide a large surface area for proteins to be ensoiled. Many ATP synthesis enzymes in the thylakoid membrane, which will become more apparent in a later stage. And adaptation of the granule membrane, or also known as the thylakoid membrane, are that it has enzymes attached to it which manufacture ATP. The light-dependent reaction. It occurs in the thylakoid membrane and it involves a reaction whereby light is captured and energy is used for the manufacture of ATP and photolysis. So what occurs is that the chlorophyll molecule absorbs light and boosts electrons to a higher energy level. Excited electrons leave the chlorophyll, which allows it to be oxidized and taken by the electron transfer carrier, which is reduced. Electrons pass along a series of electron carriers in the electron transport link. Each stage is at a different energy level, which is slightly lower. So electrons lose energy at each stage. This energy is released and helps to synthesize ATP. And photolysis of water occurs, whereby energy needed causes water, the splitting of water, and the H plus is pumped from the stroma into the thylakoid membrane, and this helps synthesize ATP, which will be explained more later. This is a little diagram explaining what I've said here. So you have your chlorophyll molecule, and you have your light. The light goes onto the chlorophyll, and it causes electrons, which we'll do in blue, to be excited. They move upwards and boost to a higher energy level, which is here. As they move down the electron carrier chain, the electron link, they lose energy. So how can we show energy? We'll show energy here in red. They lose energy. And this energy is used to synthesize ATP. ATP synthesis, also known as the chemoosmotic theory. A pair of electrons pass along the electron transfer chain and energy is released. This enables carrier proteins within the thylakoid membrane to actively transport hydrogen ions from the stroma across the membrane into air spaces between the thylakoid. High concentration of protons inside the thylakoid membrane than in the stroma. This causes hydrogen ions to diffuse down the concentration gradient. As they diffuse through, a molecule diffuse through. So as they diffuse through, a molecule of ATP is synthesized due to the enzymes being in the thylakoid membrane. A charged environment is created, and this causes the ATP synthase molecules to spin, and the proteins provide energy for the synthesis of ATP from ADP. So we'll go over this once more. As electrons pass down the electron transfer chain, energy is released, and this enables carrier proteins within the thylakoid membrane to actively transport H+ from the stroma membrane into airspace between the thylakoid. This creates a high concentration of protons inside the thylakoid spaces rather than in the stroma. This causes hydrogen ions to diffuse back into the stroma, and as this occurs, It goes through the synthase, ATP synthase embedded in the thylakoid membrane, which creates a charged environment and the ATP synthase molecules to spin. This provides energy needed to recombine ATP plus PI to form ATP. Photolysis of water. Light energy splits water molecules, creating H plus, electrons, and oxygen. Oxygen is a waste product. Electrons reduce the chlorophyll molecule that was originally oxidized, replacing the lost electrons, and H plus is taken by the NADP. And this means that as they originally took the electron, this means they go back to their normal state, being reoxidized. Not reoxidized. They go back to their normal state. As if you had a negative and you add now a positive, you go back to having a charge of 0. Now that's all there is for the light dependent stage. The next video will be about the light independent reaction. So if you like this video, then please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.